On Monday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and U.S. President Donald Trump said U.S. tariffs on Canada will be paused for up to 30 days. The deal includes several border security measures by Canada, which the federal government had already committed to, and that Canadian officials have spent weeks detailing to the Trump administration. Joining us now is economist Luis Seco to discuss this further. Thanks for being here, Luis.
My pleasure.
So as I mentioned, before Monday, Trump already knew about this proposal from Canada. Why do you think he waited until the last minute to postpone the tariffs? Is there some sort of strategy behind that?
Well, when you do a policy, you have a division between internal affairs and external affairs. This is a policy, in my opinion, driven by internal affairs. It has nothing to do with the economy. It has nothing to do with businesses. If that's your perspective, then uncertainty is good for politics. It's very bad for business. And perhaps that will be my interpretation of what is happening here.
So now we wait to see what happens a month from now. Do you think Canada will have to come to the table with more to appease Trump?
It's not clear. Again, if this is about internal affairs, then that will be what we will have to do. If you analyze the response of Justin Trudeau, you would see that he starts addressing the American public. That seems to indicate to me that he agrees that this is an internal affairs issue. If that's the case, there is very little we can offer by way of taking control of the outcome. If on the opposite side, if this becomes an issue of external affairs, then yes, negotiations may be an issue. I suspect we're going to live through a lot of uncertainty for a very long time because this is being caused by things that really have nothing to do with Canada.
Well, Trump's trade tariffs have sparked interest in interprovincial trade. Is that the answer to Canada's problem? What are some of the benefits or drawbacks to trading within Canada?
Well, we're going to have to adopt a different perspective to everything trade related, whether it's internal trade or even trade with other nations and other groups. In a certain sense, something has been broken. We've been used to a certain way of working with the United States. All of that is now up in the air. The uncertainty that we have is very high. And that means that we can no longer assume that whatever we thought was true will continue to be true for the foreseeable future.
Do you feel like trade within Canada is better for the economy, or are there drawbacks?
Definitely, trade within Canada is good for the economy. This is going to create the levers needed to make that internal trade go up. That will be very good for the country. And as we look at perhaps other trading partners, that's what we will do. We will just react to the situation and see how we can benefit from that. But certainly benefiting or opening up trade between the provinces, that will be the right thing to do right now.
Well, at the Canada-U.S. Economic Summit recently, Trudeau accidentally left his mic on. I'm not sure if you saw this, but he was recorded saying that he thinks Trump is serious about taking over Canada as the 51st state. What are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on that is, once again, I think this is driven by internal policy as opposed to external reasons. I think it is very serious. We have no details as to what that means. That's the other thing. Right? Without details, it's very hard to comment on the move. But it is something which is on the table, as is on the table the discussion about Panama, Greenland, and others. They are probably motivated by internal reasons. There's a lot of changes being done inside the United States right now, so it's very hard to predict what the situation will be, say, a month from now. But yes, this is something which has been put on the table, and I believe it's serious. It's not a bluff.
And it's interesting to see how the climate around that joke has changed over the last month. Initially, officials were saying, including Justin Trudeau, that, we'll take it lighthearted. It's just a joke. But now even you're saying perhaps this is something we need to take seriously.
Yes, of course, we have no details. I mean, there's a lot of issues, what happens with pensions. There's a lot of, this is a major change, and you can't just make it happen with a one sentence statement. I think we're going to hear more about this. We're going to perhaps even see other attempts at doing a type of economic union like we have had in the past. The length of any agreement these days is no longer in terms of years, it's in terms of months, sometimes hours. So I think we're going to see a lot of back and forth with regards to the future of what the situation is. But again, if this is driven by internal reasons, not external reasons, then we're going to have to just stay very tuned to the reality inside the United States and be aware that what we do will have a limited impact on what the outcome might be.
Well, okay, Luis, thank you for joining us today. That's economist Luis Seco.
My pleasure.